Good evening, everyone. This is Mo with Nightly Newsy News. Thank you, Wolfram, for doing the Modly stuff. Squid, I'm glad I can help you during work, which is great. We have a bunch of dumpster fire news and random shenanigans tonight. And the Fawns. Who knew? And you guys, check out Squid Pro Quo's channel. She did workout stuff today. I'm extremely impressed. Or that was a short. Look, y'all, I think Lolly took most of my brain and took it out because holy fazoli's could I not pay attention to anything else today. Good evening, cool gamer and Roy. I hope you are all doing well. For our first story, who knew that the Fonz was going to be in the news? In Ireland, to Henry Winkler turns on a character voice when he's interviewed by an unwitting Irish journalist about a hotel fire. You know, the Fonz is always cool. Good evening, Brenda. Henry Winkler was tapped for an interview Wednesday by an unwitting Irish reporter who didn't realize she was speaking to a famed actor and comic. The legendary Fonzie star didn't identify himself when recounted being evacuated from Dublin's Shelburne Hotel after a fire broke out around 10:30 a.m. When I heard the fire alarm, I thought it was a radio clock, Winkler told RTE Times or News, sorry, adding he didn't realize it was the fire alarm until he went into another room at the hotel and could still hear the buzzing. I called downstairs and the woman said in a very calm voice, "Yes, we're all evacuating. You must be evacuated right now," Winkler added, turning on a hysterically panicked and guttural character voice. Fortunately, there were no injuries and the blaze was brought under control in less than an hour, leaving minimal damage to the 200-year-old hotel. Welcome, Mama Five and Audio Coffee. Good evening. Winkler, who was visiting the Irish city to promote his new memoir, Being Henry, the Fonz, and Beyond, was later seen thanking and taking selfie with a wonderful crew of firefighters. Dublin's finest does a great job when our hotel was evacuated first thing this morning. Arrested Development star said in an Instagram post that featured three smiling smoke eaters. Aw, he seems like he would just be a cool guy to hang out with. The Dublin Fire Brigade promptly reshared the image, captioning it, "Aye, thanks to Fonzie, Mr. Costanzo," in reference to Winkler's character on the HBO show Barry. Look, I didn't watch HBO shows, so. Hilariously, the accidental interview wasn't the first time a foreign reporter has unknowingly chosen the megastar for their broadcast. A shopping bag toting Winkler was stopped by BBC reporter James Landale on the streets of London in 2013 to discuss airplane noise concerns in the area. He looked a promising interviewee, so I lunged forward and began my spiel and immediately realized I was addressing no less a figure than the Fonz, Landale later wrote. Even though Winkler pointed out he wasn't a British voter, he amicably gave his thoughts. "Richmond is a lovely place. I watch the planes go every day. I hear nothing," he said before walking away. Instantly, I became a gabbing, starstruck idiot. Aw, he's such a good person. Sounds like. Um, Oregon seems like it would be the place where someone of my complexion and love for rainy weather until it decided to hurt my leg would be, but if they have these monstrous sea creatures, that's a NERP for me. True, true audio coffee. A rare 7-foot fish washed ashore on Oregon's coast, garnering worldwide attention. Yeah, no. Look, y'all thought it was Jaws that's gonna keep me out of the ocean. No, it's that thing. A massive rare fish thought to only live in temperate waters in the southern hemisphere has washed up on Oregon's northern coast, drawing crowds of curious onlookers intrigued by the unusual sight. No, no. I am not going next to a monster fish that is baking in the sun. No, and I have seen whales explode. That is nature reminding my pale and non-buoyant self to stay out of the water. The 7.3-foot or 2.2-meter hoodwinker sunfish first appeared on the beach in Gerhardt on Monday, the Seaside Aquarium said in a media release. It was still on the beach on Friday and may remain there for weeks, the aquarium said, as it's difficult for scavengers to puncture its tough skin. Photos provided by the aquarium show a flat, round gray fish lying on its side in the sand. Photos of a person kneeling next to it and another of a pickup truck parked next to it gave a sense of its large scale and size. Y'all, you know some hillbilly out there is poking it with a stick. Look, as an Appalachian American, I can tell you Cletus is out there somewhere looking for some M80s to send this poor fish heavenward in pieces. I'm I'm just throwing that out there so when it happens, I can say, "Full on hill truck here." That's probably what's gonna happen. Just throwing it out there. The stir it created on social media prompted a New Zealand-based researcher who has studied sunfish to contact the aquarium. After looking at photographs of the fish, Maureen Negard said she was able to confirm that it was indeed a hoodwinker sunfish, rarer than the more common ocean sunfish, and she said she believed it to be the largest such fish ever sampled, according to the aquarium. Research published in 2017, this scientist discovered through genetic sampling and observation that the hoodwinker sunfish, or Mola tecata, was a different species than the ocean sunfish, Mola mola. Tecata in Latin means hidden or distinguished, referring to a new species that's been hiding in plain sight, the aquarium said. Well, aren't you glad? Y'all know that we learn new things here all the time. In fact, we learn that Martin Scorelli is not only, the well, has the douchiest resting douche face ever, but apparently Bro was trying to sell a one-of-a-kind Wu-Tang Clan record. Sir, that's gonna that's gonna be a party foul. Do you know how many B's that album got me? Okay, sir, you not only have resting douche face, your mouth apparently speaks douchanese. Pharma bro Martin Scorelli hit with a $4.75 million lawsuit over a one-of-a-kind Wu-Tang Clan record. Sir, if you are a dingus currently sitting in prison, maybe don't run your mouth like a doofus. The convicted felon known as Pharma Bro, Martin Scorelli, is being sued over claims he allegedly copied and live streamed a rare Wu-Tang Clan album to his social media followers. According to a lawsuit filed in federal court on Monday, Pleaser DAO is suing Scorelli over the famed hip hop group's rare single copy of Once Upon a Time in Shaolin that Pleaser DAO, a cryptocurrency collective, bought the exclusive rights from Shkreli for 4.75 million in two transactions in 2021 and 2024. Y'all, I have no idea what's going on here, but apparently if you buy a one of the kind, Wu-Tang thing and then you sell it to someone, you probably shouldn't give it away for free. Sir, you have enough problems. I am sure that face doesn't endear you to many in Gen Pop, okay? You might not want to piss off the Wu-Tang Clan. The judge on Tuesday issued a temporary restraining order barring Scorelli from streaming, selling, or disseminating the album before the next court hearing set for June 25th. Pleaser, the other company, accuses Scorelli of admitting to playing the album in a live stream for his followers on June 18th, 2022, according to the lawsuit, which seeks unspecified damages to be determined by the court. It I am sad that it died. I don't know why they're not I don't know if it's a new species studying it instead of letting it rot on the but then again, that thing looks huge, and I'm not sure how much it caught or it weighs to pick up or if it would, like maybe we can have Canton PD pick all the evidence up. Let's see here. I didn't realize you could stream from prison, but I could be wrong. Yes, that's the Wu-Tang album for you all crazy streamer people, he said during the live stream, court documents said. In another live stream on YouTube in June 2022, on June the 20th, 2022, Skrelly was asked if he still had a copy of the album. He said he did, the lawsuit alleges. I was playing it on YouTube the other night, even though somebody paid $4 million for it. Okay, dingus, you're not supposed to we do not stream our crimes on YouTube. I thought we had all established this, LawTube included. On June 30th, 2022, during another live stream, Scorelli again played a portion of the album and again allegedly admitted he kept it, saying, "Of course I made MP3 copies. They're hidden in safes all around the world. I'm not stupid. I don't buy something for $2 million just so I can keep one copy." Well, I mean, he does have a point there, but perhaps not playing it on YouTube like an absolute jackass when, they have all the different, copyrighty things. This past May, in a YouTube video, Scorelli said he'd burned the album and sent it to like 50 different chicks. Sir, the unrelenting waves of douche-canoery you are putting off is just sir, you're guilty by, well, just loads of evidence at this point, all on YouTube. He then asked the interviewer, "Do you know how many of women, the B word, that album got me? You think I didn't effing copy that? Are you joking?" He also allegedly said that thousands of people have listened to it. "I sent MP3s to all these people." Scorelli purchased the album in 2015 for $2 million, but had it sold off as part of his $7.4 million forfeiture order after his conviction and sentencing to 7 years in prison for security fraud. His former company bought the rights to the life-saving drug Daraprim, which treats a rare parasitic disease that strikes pregnant women, cancer patients, and AIDS patients, then raised the price of the drug from $13.50 to $750 per pill, more than a $4,000 hike. He was released from prison. Oh, well, okay, honestly, I guess you can stream when you've been released from prison. Still, I think that, probably your release is contingent on you not, I don't know, committing other daggone felonies while you're out. He was released from prison in May 2022 when he began a 3-year term of supervised release. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said, like, don't felonate again. In court documents, Pleaser DAO said the forfeiture order required Scorelli to take all reasonable steps and bear all costs necessary to ensure that all substitute assets are preserved and maintained in good marketable condition and are not damaged, diluted, or diminished in value as a result of any actions taken or not taken by this dingus. Scorelli has shown a complete lack of respect for the integrity of the album and the conditions in place to ensure its secrecy, court documents said. Wu-Tang recorded the secret 31-track, 128-minute double album from 2007 to 2013 in protest over the devaluation of music in the digital era. It features guest appearances from notable musicians, celebrity actors, and professional athletes. The album came in a hand-carved nickel and silver-cased box bound in leather, and it was listed in the Guinness World Records as the single most valuable album. Good evening, Rissa. The Associated Press said Scarelli did not respond to a request for comment. I can't imagine why. Law and Crime has written extensively about Scarelli. In January, he went expressed his displeasure with the U.S. Court of Appeal for the Second Circuit, which handed down a unanimous ruling that upheld the district court's decision that he must keep out of the pharmaceutical business because of his anti competitive behavior in distributing a potentially life saving drug. New York State Attorney General Letitia James, the Federal Trade Commission, and seven individual states sued Scarelli and his companies in 2020 for antitrust violations. Interesting. So we can go after companies that try to screw over the American people. Big Pharma, I'm looking at you. Hey, Justice Department, Big Pharma is and a bunch of other people are trying to often, keep access to life-saving or life-enhancing stuff away from us, possibly also sue them, asking for a friend. Scarelli responded to the ruling uh, at the time online. He posted it on X, specifically calling out the Second Circuit for its decision. Well, sir, I'm sure that running your mouth has helped you a lot in the past. I say continue being an epic douche canoe, and I'm sure your life will improve. I mean, it has to work someday, right? And just y'all, I can't. Why is this becoming a normal thing? Just a normal day on top of a nuclear volcano with a dumpster fire on top? But Wisconsin, I'm gonna need you to step forward to the front of the class and explainarate yourself yet again. Two twisted female teachers in Wisconsin forced out for a sexting student trying to set up a foursome. Absolute what in the dumpster trash fire are we looking at here, y'all? Lord Choppy, Lord Chippy, we we need some y'all, this is how we get final form Jesus down here. So these two ridiculous excuses for, I guess, educationology. Two high school business teachers in Wisconsin were forced to resign after district officials found out they'd been trying to seduce one of their students by offering him a foursome, with one of the pervy pair even sending scantily clad photos to his Snapchat account. Uh, I absolutely. A male teacher would definitely be in prison, and I wish these two were because this is abuse and predation just the same. Alexia Saldikris, a first-year teacher, and Jennifer Larson, an 11-year veteran, left their jobs in April after an investigation by officials at, uh, let's see, investigation by officials at Joseph Craig High School in Janesville unearthed the racy messages, according to WMTV 15 in Madison. So here's first-year teacher, and here's 11-year teacher. Um, I can't, y'all. Both allegedly admitted to inappropriately Snapchatting the unidentified male student whose age has not been released, with Saldarkis acknowledging she'd sent risque photos and Larson admitting she'd sent message about cuddling, flirting, and the implication of alcohol. Much of the scandal revolves around a school trip that lasted from April 7th to the 9th, which was when the district said both teachers sent the student messages saying they wanted to cuddle and have fun with him. Ugh. Y'all are both grosser than that stuff that grows on top of pudding, and I hate pudding, so ew. You're both just terrible and awful. Way worse, they asked if another student might join. Yes, let's be a part of a love quadrangle. That's a great idea. Which secured a summary of the district's investigation. During the same encounter, the younger teacher apparently gave keys to a district van to the student and let him take it for a lap around the parking lot, the station said. Dear Lord in heaven, y'all, this is about like I have a van with puppies and kittens in it and candy. For the love. Um, let's see. She was changing her shoes in the back of the vehicle, and she and the student shared half a kiss, the network added. Representatives for the school district and teachers did not respond to the Post's request for comment. On April 9th, Saldarkis also reportedly sent the kid 5 photos of herself in underwear and lingerie. Further text revealed plans for them to meet that weekend. But nothing else happened over the following day, the Daily Mail said. A day later, Larson reported uh, Saldarkis to the administration for letting the student drive the van. The same morning, Saldarkis texted the student saying their relationship needed to end. He agreed, the network said. On April 11th, the same administrator who heard Larson's complaint got another report from a teacher about a group of boys who were standing around laughing at pictures on the phone. Well, they're not s well, that's a bottle of barefoot right there. I didn't know that we could, I guess it's a cousin of a corner kiss, who the hell knows? Uh, Laughing at pictures on a phone, because apparently the teacher said they were 95% sure that the photos the kids were gawking at were shots of this teacher and her unmentionables. The district placed both teachers on administrative leave April 12th, the station said. 10 days later, the school board accepted their resignations. Larson, who was also the school advisor for the Wisconsin DCA program for future leaders and entrepreneurs, also admitted to telling a male student that a girl he was seeing wasn't good enough for him. Holy ma'am, move to Canton, tell everyone how terrible they are, and leave the children alone. The Janesville Police Department is conducting its own investigation to see if the twisted teachers broke any law and should be hit with criminal charges. Yes, for being gross and disgusting human beings. In things that I'm actually beginning to hope we do in America, because honest to goodness, uh, I think that El Salvador's transformation has been nothing short of miraculous, and all they had to do was put all the criminals who were unaliving people and selling drugs and doing terrible, terrible things in prison. Yeah, I'm okay with that anymore. New photos reveal mega prison in El Salvador built to hold 40K inmates with no prisoner ever freed. A series of oh, for the love of all that is holy. You know what? Do you know what these people do to people? Do you know what people in the cartel, people that are all tatted up like this, have done to people? I am sorry, but when did we get so doggone worried about criminals' feelings when they don't care about anyone else? Also, Bukele, their president, is a bit of a smoke show, ladies. I can admit it. In overblown media hyperbole, a series of bone chilling new photos show the barbarous conditions inside a mega prison in El Salvador that was built to hold gangbangers from the country's most violent criminal organization. And no prisoner who's ever walked in it has breathed the free air again. Yeah, and now people are free to, live their lives, the good, innocent, law abiding citizens don't have to worry about getting shaken down for, their protection money, getting robbed by one gang to be robbed by another, to have their son snatched off the streets for whatever reason. Again, don't make me cry for these people because I won't. These people are responsible for more human suffering, and If they made those choices, then they're living with those choices. You don't think for a minute if they got freed, they wouldn't be doing the same shenanigans over and over again. I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm a little out of compassion for the poor, s you know, suffering cartel members. Dubbed the Center for Confinement of Terrorism, the mammoth facility in Telcota can hold about 40K prisoners, the equivalent to 2 fully packed Madison Square Gardens, in conditions befitting their crimes. The the photos released by the government of El Salvador, based, show scores of shirtless, heavily tattooed inmates being shepherded into the maximum security center, which houses them in cramped cells under artificial light and the constant threat of torture or unalivement. They held the country hostage for as many years. You don't think that parents were afraid to send their little kids out? That mothers didn't worry about where their teen sons and teen daughters went? That business owners weren't looking across, their backs? Spare me world media, because when I am president, I give 2 rats patoots. It's not our country. He's turning it around for his people. He has 97%, you know, popularity and approval in his country. So if everyone in El Salvador is cool with it, Mo here ain't gonna do nothing different. In fact, I might ask for, like, how does one build one of these? Ugh. Yes, it's called They Are Absolutely Destroyed El Salvador. The end. Now let's just make sure we don't have a picture of Bukele, and then we will hurry on. But y'all, I don't find this too upsetting. Again, these gentlemen and the look, holy fazoli's, what do we have here? The country's homicides dropped nearly 57% in 2022, a significant improvement for a nation often considered the murder capital of the world. I'm okay with it. I mean, I just it I cannot for the life of me feel upset, but another poor victim of circumstances beyond her control, and don't you feel terrible? It looks like our beautiful, our lovely Miss Sarah Boone is, is possibly going to be looking for another lawyer. Now, news has come down the pike that the lawyer, after being called snotty, unintelligent, a liar, and, let's see, not nice, mean to Sarah Boone, has decided there are irreconcilable differences, and here I thought that they would get together and form a heart cover band. It seems that Sarah can't, turn off the Sarah Boone music in her head because, of course, this face says it all. I mean, there is a woman so shocked and confused, and that meme of, "I bet you're wondering how I got here." And in Sarah Boone's world, it's like, "I've done nothing wrong. It was unintentional." And y'all know what happens when you get some Boone's Farm in me. But, definitely she is probably going to lose her, 8th attorney because, well, honestly, ma'am, Miss Cashbaum, this lawyer who's trying to leave, I'm gonna recommend you change your name, get some conditioner for your hair, do the curly girl method, go into hiding, move to Guam, and never speak about this again. Now, I will tell you, state of Florida judicial system, I am willing to be the third party non-lawful law intervener for Sarah Boone. Now, I do have some demands, but I think you'll find that I will be able to at least translate her absolute tirade of trash talk and encourage her in her pro se-ness. Florida, you think about it, you get back to me, but I am willing. You just need to send me some wig money and we're good. Thank you, Chris Rowland. I love National Sewing Machine Day. I need to get back to sewing soon when I have an office. So there you go. Sarah's Boone's um, confusion over the fact that her life hasn't gone quite the way she thought it would be, uh, with the constant, inevitable obstacle that she herself is. My heart bleeds for her. I don't know how we're going to deal. Um, and absolutely what in the craziness is going on, people? Uh, you spit on my sister. A knife-wielding woman killed a sleeping man in broad daylight attack. I guess don't mess with her sister. But what in the actual, like, for the love of all that is holy is going on here? A 28-year-old woman in California, my shock, you can imagine, has been arrested for allegedly killing a man earlier this month, fatally stabbing the victim in broad daylight while he claimed that he spit on her sister. Sylvia Ortega was taken into custody last week and charged with one count of first degree murder, authorities announced. According to a news release from San Jose Police Department, patrol officers at about 11:19 a.m. on Sunday, June 2nd, responded to a report of a person down in the area of North 17th Street and East Santa Clara Street. The person who placed the 911 call told the emergency dispatcher that the victim was an adult male who was bleeding and not breathing. The caller believed the victim may have been involved in a disturbance, the release stated. When the officers arrived, they located the adult male victim suffering from at least one stab wound. Despite life saving efforts by officers and medics, the victim was pronounced deceased at the scene. The suspected assailant, later identified as Ortega, fled the area before police arrived. The department's homicide unit responded to the scene and took over the investigation into the stabbing and quickly identified the suspect as Ortega. An arrest warrant issued for her arrest, and officers from the Special Operations Merge Unit on June 5th located her at her residence in San Jose and took her into custody. The identity of the victim will be released by Santa Clara County Coroner's Office after his next of kin are notified. Additional information about the attack was released in court documents obtained by San Francisco CW affiliate KRON. The report states that a woman identified in the document as Witness 1 had been with the victim at the time of the attack. She and the victim were reportedly sleeping inside a car parked on North 17th Street when they were awakened by Ortega, who was yelling at them outside of the car. At one point, the woman said Ortega yelled, "You spit on my sister," before opening up the passenger side door and going after the victim. The female suspect said the victim were fighting on top of the witness. When the suspect backed away from the victim and the vehicle, Witness 1 noticed that the victim was bleeding. Police wrote in the probable cause affidavit Witness 1 attempted to use her phone to call 911, but the female suspect grabbed her phone and threw it on the ground. Another witness reportedly told police that he overheard the voice of a woman he knew as China yelling at the time of the stabbing. He added that China was known for stabbing people and always carried a knife. Well, I mean, I I know these are that some of the mental facilities in the 70s were terrible, torturous places that had no respect for the humanity of their patients. But I think we have, in fact, learned a little bit. We need to get people that cannot take their care of themselves into places that can take care of them under strict regulation if we need, even though I'm a libertarian somewhat, small L, not big lol. But, you know, we should be able to figure out a way to have safe places where people that really cannot take care of themselves can be housed and figure that out. Maybe not, gifting 10 more years of Ukrainian retirements to people. Y'all, my leg was like, "That's a great thing that we got new shoes and we really, really like them, but remember we still don't like using shoes." So but absolutely, there has to be a way. eh, oh, what compassion is it to leave people struggling in the morass of their own mental health issues? To have them be on the street talking about a sister they don't know, randomly attacking people. It it seems like no bit of compassion to have these people doing that when maybe they could live a semi-productive life. Ugh, people are ridiculous, and I cannot with them today. Lolly's, in fact, entire afternoon should be set aside as possible inhumane torture for people to use, like if you ever need to Noriega someone out of a building again. I'm throwing it out there, I think we'll be okay. In a sad story, and it's sounds terrible and horrifying all at the same time, an American tourist dies and wife was badly injured after being electrocuted in a hot tub at a Mexican resort. Oh, she looked beautiful and he looked so happy. This is how in the hell did they wrongly wire a hot tub? An American tourist died and his wife was badly injured while lounging in a hot tub at a private Mexican resort Tuesday, and authorities believe they were likely electrocuted by a malfunctioning device. The 43-year-old man, whom authorities only identified as Jorge G. of El Paso, Texas, was killed, and Lizette Z. suffered life-threatening injuries around 10 p.m. at the Sonoran Sea Resort in Puerto Panseo, the General Prosecutor's Office for the State of Sonora said, according to KTSM. Lizette Z. was taken to the U.S. in critical condition, the station reported. The wife had burns that appeared to indicate she'd suffered electric shock that might have been caused by faulty wiring, the General Prosecutor's Office reportedly said. A witness who knew the couple said she saw the pair on the outside hot tub, but neither were moving, according to the General Prosecutor's Office. When a bystander tried to help the couple, she was shocked and forced to call for help. The cause of death has not officially been determined, the El Paso Times reported. The incident is under investigation. An Arizona woman staying at the resort, Sarah Gatlin Perez, told Arizona Daily Star that she and others tried to aid the victim, but the man didn't have a pulse when she arrived. We'd just come from the pool, and my husband and son were in this very same hot tub about an hour before, she told the newspaper. The resort could not be reached for comment Wednesday. Yes, obviously, they do not want to. Hopefully, they figure it out, and it's terribly sad that she lost her husband in this freak accident ridiculousness. In rich people behaving badly because, well, I mean, I guess look, you guys, I think it is the most pretentious and weird thing to call myself an influencer. When people ask me what I do, I kinda say, "Well, like, I watch trials and do stuff." But, you know, I would never try to okay, I am trying to bribe the entire state of Florida to get me more wigs and let me represent Sarah Boone, mostly for the hilarity, but I would never make a small business, you know, deal with me because I thought I was owed something for having a fun YouTube channel that I enjoy anyway. People are so weird. I swear to goodness, if I had half of the well, self, esteem that Sarah Boone did, I would already be the president of the United States. But I'm pretty sure I couldn't use my power for all goodness. So and when I get annoyed, I can get a little testy. It's high-end Hamptons hotspot fires back with bribery claim after influencers whine that they had the worst $2,000 dinner. Did they not give you enough, of the sauce packets at McDonald's? Because you ask for barbecue sauce and they give you, like, 1 packet for 10 nuggets and you're a little bit Let's see. It's a fine dining food fight. The owners of a high-end Hampton steakhouse are hitting back after 2 TikTok influencers. Oh, for the love of goodness, you couldn't even get YouTube influencers? Uh, and accused the eatery of providing the worst $2,000 meal they ever had. Well, unless they have, like, the world's most awesome gummy bear, like, $2,000 y'all, Mr. Mo and I watch Bobby Flay because, look, it's the one thing that I won't make fun of all the time because if I try to watch a movie with him and there's a plot hole, I'm like, "What are we doing here? Did the writers not care enough about us to make a plot that makes sense?" I digress. But those little plates that they give you at frou-frou places, I mean, do you go out to a frou-frou place and then go get, like, a hamburger after? Am I just too Midwestern and like ranch dressing to understand fine dining? Probably because I wouldn't eat half the vegetables that they use. Uh, Mag Meg Radis and Audrey Joggins, who run the review page at the VIP list, slammed Maverick's Montauk in a viral video shared Tuesday, but a rep for the restaurant responded by claiming the content creator's friend threatened to give them a bad review if they didn't receive free food. In the VIP list clip, which has clocked up over 730 1,000 views, Radis alleges that she and her pals waited 3 hours for appetizers before being served a mess of flavorless dishes. She additionally claimed that her friend's dress was ruined when the seafood tower collapsed and that her party was hit with a $2,000 bill at the end of a disastrous dining experience. The owners of Maverick Matog had a different version of events, telling the Post that the influencers and their friends arrived 20 minutes late and refused to order all food items at once, per the restaurant's policy. I mean, I'd be okay with it. I mean, these women are insane. I mean, that looks like a perfectly good steak, except, okay, I'm going to admit something that will probably get me disinvited to some family barbecues. I like my steaks medium rare, so that's a little bit too much of the pinkishness on that. I'm sorry. I know steak is supposed to taste really good, the pinker it is, but I just can't. No. Look, as a 7-year-old, I may have been really worried about trichinosis because I was a weird 7-year-old. So, pink equals raw equals trichinosis in my brain. Welcome to my world of crazy. This is why Mr. Mo gets paid the big bucks to keep custody of me, I guess. The restaurant says the viral hubbub has real meaningful and lasting consequences for us small businesses. It's also yes, and I have to have oh, when you swallow spit and you think you're gonna die for, like, that one little second? Yeah, I know that. I also don't like the texture, the giviness of it. It just look, I am a weird and y we all know that friend, that one that will, order chicken fingers and french fries because it is the one thing that we know most people can't mess up, I may be that friend. It's also incredibly hurtful and untrue to say management didn't care, they added. Mavericks declined to give the influencer as any comped meals and said the women inflated the amount of money they were charged, which was $1,246 before tax. Well, it was only, a cool $1,200. I mean, goodness. They spent $638 on food and $608 on alcohol. I feel bad if I buy an $8 drink. I don't know. I'm okay with my Boone's Farm, taste, but holy God, you spent more than my first car, which was a state-of-the-art 1984 Chrysler New Yorker with blue velvet interior, and I was playing Weird Al out of it. I mean, I just don't understand why I didn't have a following in high school. I was so popular. You know what I will say? If I could meet Mo back then, I'd have told her, "You know what? Just be who the hell you are all the damn time." Because people are gonna like you or they're not, but play that Weird Al loud. Who cares? However, Radis and Joggins are sticking to their story, telling the Post, "If we're wrong, the general public can go try for themselves. Hopefully, they do better. Our dinner was awful. Mad that we said it? Go cry about it." Well, I mean, she seems like a lovely individual who has public relations skills, doesn't she? The 76-second video features footage of the food served to the TikTok stars, accompanied by narration by this ungrateful heifer. "I know hospitality in the Hamptons isn't the best, but this is criminal," she sees. "It's such a shame because it's a beautiful venue." Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. I know that, like, hospitality in the Hamptons isn't the best, but this is criminal. I can't do a vocal fry. I don't know why people try to do it because it grates on every last one of my nerves, and when I am president, I will, um, I will outlaw it, but I want DQ for my dinner. Oh my gosh. I might get one. So, uh, my youngest daughter and her dad on the summers, we each take her for a week long, and we usually rotate on Fridays. So when I'm taking her to her bonus mom, I think I might stop and get myself a mini blizzard and eat it all before I go home so I don't have to share with nobody. Let's see here now. The content creator, she claimed she was off duty and wasn't planning on documenting the dining experience, but after an alleged 2.5-hour wait for an appetizer, all bets were off. This is considered chicken with caviar. It looks like a Chad, a slang for a frat boy, made it. What an absolute heifer. Radis raged. Someone alert McCormick because they clearly need to restock of seasoning. Every dish was flavorless. Maybe it's because you're so bitter you can't taste things. I don't know. Hello, General T. I mean, maybe the taste is stuck in your mouth of huffing your own farts and thinking you're too good for yourself because maybe we can catch a picture of these two influencers. Oh, for the love of goodness, stop being a slow piece of poo. Yeah, so just absolutely not good behavior for either of these two. I hope that the company possibly share. So, no, if I get a bigger than a mini, I can't eat all that much ice cream, at one time, so I will hide it in the freezer, but my kids have been known to find my hiding spaces even when I put it, like, in a thing of broccoli. Um, I believe they all have my innate sense of sugar hiding in plain sight. But, oh my goodness, that's a good day. That is a good day. I am glad you had one. It's one of my favorite, uh, flavors. And for our final story, a crocodile was terrorizing this Australian town, so residents cooked and ate it. You know, Australia's growing on me. I'm kinda liking this Crocodile Dundee slash barbecue thing we're going on with, plus revenge and engine. Dear, I'm looking at you. One day, there's gonna be a Moaning, a deer reckoning. A remote Australian community has taken revenge on a massive saltwater croc by eating the 3.6 meter or 11.8-foot beast blamed for devouring pets and chasing children. On Wednesday, police in the town of Bula in Australia's Northern Territory shot the crocodile after deeming it a significant risk to the community. That is one hefty crocodile. Yeah, I'm okay. Just, yeah, yeah. Holy fire and boomsticks. I'm okay with it. In a statement, Northern Territory Police said the predator, quote, had been stalking and lunging out at the water of at children and adults. Okay, I am confused. First time Mr. Gatorpuss, tries to kill one of the ferals. I'm out there with a boomstick. Now, look, I don't know Australia. I don't know how force multiplier laws work anymore. But if I'm not out there, I am calling, you know, the coppers and I am getting them out there and I am putting up a stink until someone unalives that, demon crocodile or alligator. Anywho, reptile gono is in a waste-conscious move, the crocodile was prepared for a feast in the traditional manner, police said, but not before authorities took the opportunity to give local children an impromptu crocodile safety session, including an up-close look at dangers within our waterways. Speaking to public broadcaster ABC, Northern Territory Police Sergeant Andrew McBride said the animal was cooked up into crocodile tail soup. He was on the barbecue. A few pieces were wrapped up in banana leaves and cooked underground. It was a rather large traditional feast, and there were a few full bellies, Sergeant McBride said. Both saltwater and freshwater crocodile species are protected in Australia. Australia. These are walking prehistoric dinosaurs that have, you know, developed a taste for doggos. They must be stopped. Out there, there's some Australian, "We love the crocodiles, don't speak for us, you American." I am simply saying that, "Oh, yeah, I did that story." I mean, I'm telling you, we are on a simulation, and Glip Glorp has been told by his mom that if he doesn't get downstairs and stop playing with this stimulation for a little bit, you know, he's gonna get all of his simulations taken away, and we are running on idle stupid mode. Like, he put absolute absurdity mode on and left and left the room. His mom's like, "Glip glorp, are you still drinking Prime?" And he's like, "But that's what Logan Paul drinks." And his mom's like, "Glip glorp, what have I told you about playing with your simulations?" I love that in my simulation, his mother is still deeply ashamed of him, even though I think we're pretty cool simulation when we're not on stupid mode. Again, welcome to the insight that is what Mr. Mo has to deal with every day because he's like, "Did you think all of that up in your head for this last 5 seconds? Yeah, I need someone." Stop. Numbers have boomed in the decades since they decided to protect dangerous predators, with the Northern Territory now having some 100,000 crocodiles, according to local government. Thousands more crocodiles are distributed across the north of neighboring states Queensland and Western Australia. Any body of water in the top end may contain large and potentially dangerous crocodiles, said government wildlife specialist Kristen Hay, using the colloquial name for the Northern uh, Territory. The territory's website notes that saltwater crocodiles can grow to 6 meters or 20 feet and weigh up to a ton and will eat just about anything. That means interactions between crocodiles and humans can be fatal, and park rangers across northern Australia remove hundreds of saltwater crocodiles from populated areas each year. In April, a 16-year-old boy was killed by a crocodile in northern Queensland while attempting to swim to shore after his boat broke down. Last year, the remains of a 64-year-old fisherman were recovered from inside a crocodile, also in Queensland. A 9-year-old boy was lucky to survive a crocodile attack in Northern Territory's Kaduku National Park in January after being hospitalized with puncture wounds. No. No, audio coffee when see, I might have been like I said, I was born 47, um, just old, grumpy, and get off my lawn. That's kind of, me as a child. But I was the only kid when the guy from Jurassic Park was holding the baby, like, velociraptor. I was like, "Sir, we have seen this entire movie that these things are deadly scary ass predators. If Dr. Alan Grant said that it's, a freaking thinking, killing machine, I'm not picking it up. It's not gonna be your friend. No amount of catching it out of the egg is gonna help you, sir." This is also why my mom wouldn't let me talk during movies, but I had a point, damn it. I had a point. Any hoozle. I'm not sending you guys to anyone tonight. Would join Shizzy tonight, but unfortunately, getting used to the shoe has kinda not been as fun as possible. So I am going to go to bed, lay down, and get ready for Friday's Morning with Mo, and then another day of Lolly boring the ever living snot out of me. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you guys in the morning at 8 with Newsy News with Mo in the morning, and we will just have all the fun. Bye, guys.